What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. And today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it is WrestleMania season. Now, you might say, whoa, WrestleMania is until the end of April. What do you mean it's WrestleMania season? Once we kind of hit, well, I'm going to say now, it's usually after Survivor Series. That's when we're at in my opinion, the road to WrestleMania. With Saturday night's main event, it kind of throws a kind of wrench in the what is the term analogy for, what is the phrase? Wrench in the I almost said wrench in the throat. Wrench in the pile? Wrench in the screw? It just throws something away where, we aren't technically there yet. But once we get to, I think, in my opinion, after the Raw on Netflix, I think we're going to see, the road to WrestleMania. We're going to probably see, potential Royal Rumble announcements that leads to, WrestleMania. Maybe something with the next Saturday night's main event is going to lead to the next WrestleMania. Whatever it might be, this is the time where we're at. But here's the thing. A lot of potential fun videos are about to potentially happen on this channel because, one, there's been rumors about The Rock is not going to show up at WrestleMania 41. Do I think that's true? I believe probably like 75-25. It's not. 75% of me says, listen, maybe The Rock's not planning to be there, but then last minute he's going to show up because he knows it's a big draw. And the other half is like, or other 25% is like, maybe this, is true. And he's kind of just like, I don't want to be a part of it. And stuff's going on. There's conflicts. I think WrestleMania is too big of a draw for The Rock not to show up, truthfully. I think maybe we don't get exactly what we had last year where he's there almost feels like SmackDown and Raw and kind of really putting on a show. But I have to believe, and I'm just saying, after last year and he saw how crazy it was last year, he would want to do the same thing for Las Vegas. So, and Raw on Netflix. Let me say that, Raw on Netflix. So, I think The Rock probably shows up. Now, is it fun to have a little idea and a little booking on what could happen, what could go on? Of course. So that's why we have today's video today. I already know people are going to say Rock is going to show up probably in the comments below. And I will probably agree with you. And if you say, I don't think The Rock will show up, I will also probably agree with you because, there's two sides to each story. And I love hearing comments. I love hearing opinions. When people give me their opinions on certain things, it kind of enlines me to go a certain way. It kind of shows me like certain ideas that others have. Looking at other people's opinions opens up more to your own brain, I guess. So, yeah, let's get started. Let's quit the yapping. And let's begin with, first off, probably the one person that's been talking about WrestleMania the most recently, CM Punk. CM Punk versus who? Who could he main event against WrestleMania? We know his story. His really Cody Rhodes arc is main eventing WrestleMania. Now, for a lot of these, I'm going to talk about Night 2 WrestleMania. That's what I think the main event is. But there's a big chance that a lot of these could be, WrestleMania main event Night 1. So I think Punk is more likely to get a Night 1 main event. But at the same time, let's talk about all the possibilities. So first, who could CM Punk go against? Let's talk about Roman Reigns, the person that's been kind of in the loop recently with CM Punk. There's a favor that CM Punk has to potentially main event WrestleMania. Could it be for a match against Roman Reigns for the Wise Man? That's somebody that I think if this would happen, if Roman Reigns and Punk would happen, it would obviously be Night 2 for WrestleMania. Would there be a title? Would there be something on the line? I don't know. I could see a way where it's really just, let's be honest here, a feud, and they just still put it there because it's such a huge feud. And it's a big draw. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is a huge draw. That's a big possibility to be a main event. Now let's talk about some others. We're not going to talk about the likely ones. Let's talk about another crazy one. What's the chance that we get Cody Rhodes? Maybe the kind of favor is that Paul Heyman is going to get a title opportunity for CM Punk, and it's going to be at WrestleMania. You might think CM Punk wins the kind of Royal Rumble, and he goes, I want Gunther, and he doesn't get Gunther. He actually chooses Cody Rhodes, and that's the favor that the wise man's going to give for him is that he's going to get the title from Cody Rhodes. Could be an interesting storyline. They've already kind of had some heat against each other. There's been some interesting points. Is it potentially something like that? I think that's a better possibility than maybe a Roman Reigns, because I think the title is the biggest thing as well. I know they've already hinted at CM Punk and Roman, but I think the title is what, CM Punk really wants and wants to. I think it's more likely to see a main event on that scene, and maybe Paul Heyman is his kind of wise man during this. Up next, we have Seth Rollins. I think obviously we know Seth Rollins and CM Punk is going to have a feud rumored to happen on the premiere of Netflix, which I'm a little 50-50 on. I think that they should probably wait till Mania, but there might be a bigger story that's in play. I'm not going to, doubt a Triple H booking, in my opinion. I just believe that there's something else maybe in play. And maybe that's why it's going to not be exactly happen at WrestleMania. I also think this could easily main event, but with a title on the line, it would probably be a little bit better. And when do they get that title is the biggest question mark. And probably somebody else that would be a great feud would be John Cena. Could we see a way where maybe CM Punk or John Cena has the title and it's a match between them? Something that, you think of Money in the Bank in 2011. Some people love their kind of feud that they used to have back in the day. Could we see a kind of rematch about that with the title on the line? I don't know 100%. Could we, though, see, CM Punk just go for the title with Gunther? Now, I think this is a bigger possibility, but I want this possibility to happen more at a Elimination Chamber or a Royal Rumble. But it's very hard, I think, once we get to WrestleMania, like Royal Rumble, to see people losing their titles. I think they wait till, WrestleMania for that to happen. So I don't know about this one. I still feel like it should have happened at Survivor Series, or it should have happened at Saturday Night's main event. Maybe it happens at Saturday Night's main event in January. Like, we don't know. So we'll have to see for that one. But let me say this. We're going to go through some other names here soon. If you already have seen a matchup that I've talked about, you're not going to see it again. So let's talk about the next person who I think will probably main event something, and that is John Cena. I think John Cena is obviously going to be a main contender in a lot of this. I think with his last WrestleMania, John Cena, they're going to try and make into the GOAT. So who does John Cena kind of go against? And we've already talked about Punk, so you're not going to see Punk here. Let's talk about Gunther. I think the most obvious one right now for John Cena is that a lot of people think John Cena is going to go to Elimination Chamber, win Elimination Chamber, then he's going to challenge Gunther, win the title off Gunther at WrestleMania. It makes a lot of sense. I've predicted a lot on this channel that it's going to happen because you're going to have Gunther, who is kind of this screw everyone, anti-American kind of guy. He's the ring general. He's going to be very good to kind of go against a John Cena, who is almost the complete opposite. So, makes a lot of sense. They also said that they wanted a Gunther versus John Cena match to happen at some point. It was rumored right before when John Cena had his rumored, what is it called? His rumored never, last time kind of tour, that was a planned match that they had, and it was before he won the title, which I think it was because they knew Gunther was going to win the title, and then Gunther and John Cena was going to be his end of his title reign. So I think that's where we're going at, but let's talk about some other ones. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes. What if Cody Rhodes goes against John Cena? Maybe you got the two baby faces going against each other, and that's how, John Cena wins over Cody and gets his 17th title that way. I don't know if I like that. I think it should happen on a PLE. Maybe this is SummerSlam in some way. I think it's more than likely we should kind of not let John Cena beat Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes should beat John Cena. But I don't want this to happen at WrestleMania because I don't think Cody Rhodes beating John Cena at WrestleMania would be amazing. I think you'd want John Cena to succeed at WrestleMania. And then we have Randy Orton. Randy Orton's here because I think obviously everyone wants John Cena versus Randy Orton. I rather say this happens at the end of this tour. Maybe it's a retirement match. I believe that Randy Orton as a heel would be better to go against John Cena rather than two baby faces. So I don't expect this to happen till later on, that maybe Randy Orton snaps. I don't know. I just believe that this wouldn't probably happen at WrestleMania. I think they want to give Cena a title match at WrestleMania. Now we have somebody that I was just talking about, Cody Rhodes. Who would Cody Rhodes go against? We already have Punk. We already have Cena. Let's talk about some others, and let's go with Randy Orton. I think that's a huge one that we think. Obviously, I think a lot of people think Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton should be the match that happens to give Randy the title and to continue this. But I keep going back, and in my head, I keep thinking, Randy Orton, you feel like he would have to be heel, or you would feel like Cody Rhodes has to be heel. Now, do they want Cody Rhodes to be heel this early? I don't think so. Does Randy Orton want to be heel? I don't think so. He talks about how he loves, people singing his songs. He loves being one with the fans now. Do you really want him going heel? I don't think so. And that's the biggest problem I'm really seeing with this whole potential feud, is that you don't see it. And that's why I'm feeling like this is a main event worthy. Maybe not night 2, maybe more night 1. And that is also adding Kevin Owens into the mix as that destructive heel to really go against, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. You could try and tell a story about maybe, and I'm recording this before Saturday night's main event, obviously, maybe Cody Rhodes, retains the title due to Randy Orton kind of interfering or something like that. We have Cody mad at Orton because he wanted to beat Kevin Owens on his own. Then we have Cody kind of saying something to Randy Orton. Randy Orton gets a little bit mad. Randy Orton wins Royal Rumble. He tries to interject himself into the mix for this WrestleMania match against Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens gets really mad now, takes out Randy Orton maybe, and Kevin Owens says, and then they have a number 1 contender. Kevin Owens wins, and then maybe Randy comes back and says, I still deserve my spot. Triple threat happens. I don't know. That's literally just me coming out, just saying it off the top of my head. Something's going to happen. I could see this being a good triple threat that could happen. I think there's a lot of story, and it would be a lot of build-up that's happened before. This is a good story, and I believe, in my opinion, you could have Kevin Owens pinning Randy Orton. I know that people might not like that, but if you have Kevin Owens pinning Randy Orton, you can kind of protect Cody. You can say Cody never technically lost his title. Kevin Owens then can go have the title, and I think that's a good way to give Kevin Owens the title. Then Randy's going to be pissed that he lost and pissed that all this happened because of kind of Cody getting mad at him or something. I don't know. And then you can kind of maybe do a feud with Cody and Randy is actually the heel. And maybe now it's not for the title, or you get Cody to pick it back up against Kevin Owens, and then you have that feud with Randy Orton. Something like that. That's literally just me future booking off the top of my head. Don't think it's going to happen, though. But I like this for Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes, and I think this should be main event night 1 if it would happen. Okay, next, let's talk about Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman Reigns is somebody that is a huge draw. He should main event a night. Obviously, it's Roman Reigns. Who would he go against? We've already talked about Punk. We didn't talk about Cena, which I don't think should happen. We didn't talk about Cody Rhodes. Don't think should happen. I think it really should be Roman Reigns versus Punk or Rock and Cody in a triple threat. But Rock's obviously not here. Who should Roman Reigns go against? And I'm kind of getting a little worried because they haven't had this match yet. Maybe it happens at Royal Rumble. Maybe it happens at Saturday night's main event in January. Maybe it happens at Elimination Chamber. I'm getting a little worried because they haven't had Solo versus Roman Reigns yet. And I wonder if they're not having this yet just in case, if The Rock can't show up and they have Solo versus Roman Reigns happen here. So Roman Reigns and Solo can do kind of what they did with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, where it's tribal combat. Something like that. But I feel like it should be at a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, if anything. I feel like that is where we're going at. Maybe it's Netflix premiere, but I don't think they would just both jump to Netflix, in my opinion. I think this is where we're going, but I want to mention it because it'd be kind of crazy. And then my next person I really want to go against Roman Reigns, and I think a lot of people would want to go against Roman Reigns, is maybe Jacob Fatu. What if Jacob Fatu kind of turns on Solo Sikoa, takes out Solo, says, I'm the new tribal chief now, or something like that, and then it's really like Roman's trying to defend the whole entire family, where Roman's going against, Jacob Fatu. I don't know. That's just really a suggestion. I just rather, and it would kind of be weird if they have Roman and Jacob as a main event. You know, you have Jacob and Roman as a main event, and Jacob beats Roman and Solo couldn't, and Jacob's still the second man. You know, I think Jacob beating Roman would also put him over as a main event star by far. If you really want to push someone to the moon, I mean to the moon. And what story could you tell if maybe like Solo gets betrayed by Jacob Fatu, who's been working with The Rock this whole time, and then Jacob Fatu's the new tribal chief, really, and then it's really Roman and Jacob Fatu, which people would love way more. I think a lot more people would love that more than, Solo and Roman recently. Like people would fall in love with that story, but I don't know if that happens. We're just talking about potential main events. It's kind of fun. Okay, so now we're at this point where I want to talk about this. What's a wild card during this? Drew McIntyre is the one person that, I could see it. If Drew McIntyre gets a good enough foe, could you not? Or could you really tell me that he couldn't main event a WrestleMania? Let's talk about two possibilities. Let's look at title possibilities and non-title possibilities. Cody Rhodes is probably a future feud that's going to happen. You can already tell with maybe hints of last year what was going on. Drew being probably one of the best heels, if not the best heel right now in WWE, going against one of the best baby faces in WWE. You could really see Drew maybe jump to SmackDown even to go against a Cody Rhodes. Could we see, if they have nothing planned right now of Cody and they think Randy and KO should happen at SummerSlam or something like that, could we see a way where Drew McIntyre inserts himself into the main event picture and it's Drew winning, maybe it's Royal Rumble against somebody and going for Cody Rhodes' title, and maybe he gets his title that he always wanted as a great heel. Maybe it's something like that. Or maybe he just gets his revenge on Roman Reigns and they have a feud entering WrestleMania, and this is another main event type of thing. I think the way that they have taught or the way have they kind of story told? They kind of made Drew into this bloodline, like he's such anti-bloodline with Jey Uso, Sammy, and he hates Roman Reigns with a passion because they screwed him in his hometown. It has been amazing. And the cherry on top is Drew beating Roman in a feud maybe. I don't think maybe it would be for the title. That would be the greatest cherry on top we have so far. I think Drew and Roman should be, kind of revisited. Maybe it is for the title, but I believe that should be a revisited kind of feud that we have. And I would want Drew to win. I mean, if you really want to push Drew all the way up, let him beat Roman Reigns and get his get back. But that's a big wild card that I don't know, and I believe Drew McIntyre is a big enough star to main event. If he goes against Cody Rhodes, it should be a main event, maybe night 1, maybe not night 2, depending on what's happening with Roman. But Drew McIntyre should be somebody that main events. Next, this is now where we get to the dream booking scenarios. What's the odds that we get maybe a Gunther versus Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk? Like I just said, I think Punk and Seth Rollins should go to Mania. But if they are trying to do this at Netflix, there might be a bigger story. What if the story is they're trying to set up this maybe fatal 4-way dream booking that's going to happen at night 1 or night 2? I mean, this is night 2 worthy. Could happen night 1, though, if there's something else with The Rock there. But if The Rock's not there, this is really night 2 worthy. You have Gunther versus Drew versus Seth versus CM Punk. Now, does it feel like Gunther's kind of just thrown into the mix with, CM Punk, Seth, and Drew that's been kind of going on for the past 3 years? A little bit. Does it feel like... I feel like there is a way, though, that you kind of tell that Gunther's really trying to go against maybe CM Punk, for example, and Seth Rollins has just been destroying him, and Seth Rollins gets himself inserted into the match. Well, Drew's pissed that both of them are getting themselves inserted to the match, and he's coming back for CM Punk. He's coming back for Seth Rollins for just hating Seth Rollins and he wants that title from Gunther. Maybe there's something like that. I don't know how they would tell it. It would be an interesting way on how they could tell it. But I do believe that we could get to a way where it's a fatal four-way with the four, big, like this is a huge match. Who would win this match? Probably CM Punk, I would guess. Or maybe Drew even. This would be an interesting booking. Now these next two are dream bookings I don't expect to happen. I do not expect these to happen at all. But I want to talk about it. Let's start off with, and I think this match could only happen night one, and then we would have some double duty from people, in my opinion. Night one, let's talk about the odds of Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk versus Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. There is a reason for this to happen. I think everyone has talked about, wow, Seth Rollins potentially going heel, destroying, trying to kill CM Punk and go against Sami Zayn now. He could go heel horribly. Like, he could be a horrible heel. Then we have Kevin Owens hating on Cody Rhodes because of Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins hates Roman Reigns. CM Punk hasn't had good blood with Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens and CM Punk doesn't really have anything, but, Kevin Owens obviously hating Roman. Then we have Drew. Hates Roman, hates Punk. Cody would be a future feud that he could have. Now, does this happen? I don't think so. I don't think there's a chance this is happening, and they would probably have to do double duty for a lot of these kind of stars. I think they would rather have them in, I think they would rather have Drew, Kevin Owens, Seth. They would want everyone to be in their own feuds. Would I want to dream book this to be like the bloodline, kind of like the good guys versus the bad guys because of the bloodline? I mean, this is a huge fight, and maybe it's a brawl. Maybe it's something crazy. Does this happen? I don't think so. I mean, they all have reasons to hate each and every one of them. It's kind of crazy. And then speaking on this is kind of more of an elevated version of singles, and I think it's better. Fatal 4-way, where we have Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. When you break it down, it's kind of hard to say this could happen, but let's be honest here. Cody Rhodes has had issues with CM Punk, has had issues with Seth Rollins, has had a lot of issues with Roman Reigns. Did I say CM Punk? I think I said Cody Rhodes. CM Punk now. Issues with Seth Rollins. Issues with Roman Reigns. Issues with Cody Rhodes. Look at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins hates Roman Reigns with his guts. He broke up the Shield. Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. Seth Rollins probably hates Cody Rhodes for teaming with Roman Reigns. Then you look at Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, huge hate for each other. Roman Reigns, of course, CM Punk, helped, but kind of still iffy. Maybe he takes the wise man, and that's a big storyline. And then Roman Reigns wants his title back. So you can have this kind of fatal 4-way where it's the four, these are the biggest heads of WWE. I think right now on the active roster, I'm trying to think if there's somebody else. I think I generally would say these are the four biggest draws for WWE right now. Four biggest names. And you put them in a fatal 4-way and let them cook. Oh my gosh. I could see it being a perfect way if you really want to, maybe protect Cody, give a title on somebody. I mean, who knows who could win? Could it be Roman? Could it be CM Punk? Could it be, Punk pinning Seth, and then Punk and Seth have a big feud, and that's where we get the big feud to, SummerSlam. Does Cody get pinned by Seth? I don't know. I mean, it's just a huge feud that could happen. And I'd be interested to see what would go on, but it is a huge star power feud. I mean, this is a crazy match that can happen, but you never know. And again, the last three are dream bookings. I don't think these are going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there that if we could see little paths that's going to WrestleMania, could these kind of intertwine to have a huge match? We'll see. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.